Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Odom, Dr. Susan Odom, and I'll be your instructor for Chemistry 232. Let me share my screen and walk you through some key points I want you to know for this semester. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I had a bachelor's in science in chemistry in 2003 and received my PhD at Georgia Tech in 2008. I've been a professor at UK since 2011, and my job being a professor is about a 1-to-1 ratio of teaching to research, which is different than a lecturer, which has the primary job of teaching. I teach one class per semester, and that's either Chemistry 230, 232, 533, which is an upper level lab, and 580, which is a special topics class in chemistry on scientific writing. I lead a research group of 7 people, which range from high school to research professor. So a lot of these people are on their way to getting a PhD, or they have a PhD and are continuing further study. And our research group studies battery technologies. In particular, we're studying redox flow batteries for the electrical grid. And these are really large scale batteries these containers are large enough to put on the back of a semi. The way that they work is that, unlike lithium-ion batteries, which is a solid-state storage technology, these have liquid energy storage technologies. And this diagram that I've shown you is way out of proportion. These reservoirs here are much larger than the charging component here. What happens is that you take during charging, you're flowing a liquid through, and this is multiple cycles worth of flowing, and you have a system B, we're calling it BM+1, and that is reduced to BM+ during charging, and likewise this system A is being reduced to AN+. As the battery works, we have a balance of charge by passing electrolyte ions through a membrane that separates these two liquids. When you discharge this system, the reverse occurs. You're letting the load, instead of a load being applied to the battery, then you're releasing the energy. We work with organic compounds for the active charge storage materials for these batteries, and that's because the current energy storage systems that are used are made from vanadium, and vanadium is a high-cost material that's of limited supply, and it competes with the steel mill industry, and we want to come up with technologies that are more abundant. And so we're working with petroleum-based products, such as the ones that we've shown here. These are simplified versions of some of the molecules we work with, and you'll recognize some functional groups such as thiols, amines, ketones, ethers, alkylated pyridinium ions. And for the students who do well in this class and are interested in doing research, then you're welcome to contact me about doing research in the summer or the fall. We've been allowed to resume student undergraduate research, and that is exciting because I had lost all my undergrads last fall due to our phase 1 restrictions. How did I get to be where I am? I was born in Paducah, Kentucky, and I was raised in Western Kentucky. That was in McLean County, where the closest closest town was Calhoun. I did undergraduate research at the University of Kentucky in the College of Ag and in the Department of Chemistry. And I also spent a summer doing research at Cornell University on enantioselective catalysts for the production of renewable polymers. I then moved to Georgia Tech for grad school, where I studied species called radical cations. So think of an amine and you take away one electron and you get a radical cation species, a positive charge with 3 bonds and 1 electron. I was a visiting student at Oxford University for 6 months, and that was a great experience where I got to start a new research project and live in a foreign country. And I should note that this graduate school experience was all paid for. I got a salary of about $25,000, which is just enough to live moderately without going into debt. And this is the case for all chemistry programs in the country, or at least most of them, that you get a salary of around 25K. And this allows you to not go into debt, and the school pays for your tuition, so you can come out of grad school with a PhD debt-free. I was a postdoctoral scholar at the University of Illinois, jointly with Argonne National Lab, which is a huge national lab of about a few thousand people outside of Chicago, Illinois. Then I became an assistant professor at UK. And after I got tenure, I spent a year in Cambridge, Massachusetts at MIT and Harvard University learning more about redox flow batteries. And then I returned to UK in 2018 as an associate professor. Just for fun, I wanted to show you a photo of when I was first an undergraduate doing research. So here's me with my butterfly wing costume in John Anthony's research group in 2001, which seems like forever ago. Being a professor is a great career if you love to travel and meet people. I picked out a few photos of various adventures I've had. One of them was visiting the Scale Up facility, Argonne National Lab. And when you think about the reactions that you're doing in organic chemistry lab and they're on the microscale, compare that to these big reactors that they're using there. This is for optimization of synthesis. Here's another class. I spent 3 weeks in China at Jilin University in Changchun, China, and that was to teach a class about organic materials and semiconductors and energy storage systems. And that was another paid opportunity where I got a salary to go to a foreign country and teach a relatively simple class and learn about the culture and food from China. I'm a real foodie, and there's nothing happier than trying, that makes me happier than trying different cuisines. Um, I have friends who are famous. You may have heard about the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2020, which is awarded to lithium ion battery research. And this is my friend Stan Whittingham, who won a Nobel Prize. So we get to hang out when we go to various conferences. Now to your syllabus. I wanted to point out a few key points, but you definitely should read the syllabus in full. My email address is listed here and in the syllabus, but please use Canvas Messenger to get in touch with me because emails can get lost or fall through the cracks. If you Canvas message me, I'm not going to lose your email. My office hours are Tuesday, Thursday, 11 to 12:15, and if those don't work for you, Dr. Steelman, who's teaching sections 1 and 3, has office hours from 1 o'clock to 2:30 on Monday and Thursday. And here are Zoom links to our office hours, and these are also in the syllabus. You can get the syllabus from your modules tab in Canvas. If you paid for the first day program for the fall for Chemistry 230, you will not have to pay for the Klein textbook again. You should get full access, and this is some information about how to get access if you're having trouble. Note that if you can obtain access to a similar textbook or the e-textbook, then you are able to opt out of the first day program for this semester. Customer care is available for the e-textbook. Please contact them. Don't contact me. I won't be of any help compared to these people who are, their job is to help you. Important resources for you include various tutoring opportunities, and one of them is through the study where they're doing visual drop-in tutoring. Another is the Organic Chemistry Learning Center and in JSB 331. There's also a tutors list on the chemistry website. These are tutors who are from our university and are vetted by the university staff. I would recommend them over private tutors who are not affiliated with the university. You can also use Piazza to ask questions about the course itself. I've set that up. You might be able to see it already in your Canvas link, but if you have trouble and you need to register, go to this website. We're doing Gradescope again this semester, and you're responsible for uploading your own homework assignments. You can use Microsoft Office Lens to create a PDF, or there's this new app called Genius Scan, which is also a good app for scanning assignments. Your first assignments are due on Friday. We have the academic integrity assignment, which is an essay about what you've done when you've encountered a situation where uh, academic integrity has been a question. And then homework 1, getting to know you, has a few simple questions on formal charge. So that should be a pretty easy homework for you. Homework assignments in this class are going to be due on Tuesdays and Fridays unless it's an exam week. Note that this is different from sections 1 and 2, or different from 1 and 3, in that they only have homeworks due on Friday. So if you talk to people in other classes, don't get confused that you have a homework due on Tuesday as well. And that is to make up for the difference in using PlayPosit. We're not going to have PlayPosit in this class, whereas they're getting PlayPosit points. Your grade scope is going to be calculated by the top 19 scores out of 21 submitted assignments. Your final homework score is the average of your percent scores for each of the assignments. Please do not turn in late homework. If we've already graded and released the key, there's no way we can accept your late assignment. Homework due dates are in the syllabus, and you need to be sure that you sign up for Gradescope. And don't wait until Friday to do this in case you have trouble. You have to use this code to get into Gradescope. And your name must be as it is seen in Canvas. If you have a nickname, don't use that nickname unless your nickname is in Canvas too. And lastly, make sure that your student ID does not lead with that number 9. You want to take that number 9 out. It makes it confusing for grading if we have that 9 there, because then we can't find you in Canvas. The tentative schedule of lectures, there are either 2 or 3 lectures per exam content. We're going mostly in order of the book and skipping chapters 14 and 15, which are spectroscopic identification of organic compounds, which we've already covered. But keep in mind, you'll see spectroscopic questions on the exam because this is a cumulative course, and everything you learned in Organic 1 is subject to being tested in Organic 2. We have chapter 10 at the end, so this might look out of place, but that's because this chapter is about radicals. And that's not really related to most of the other material in this course. So we'll point out things like when you see hydrobromic acid with hydrogen peroxide, that is a reaction you can ignore until we get to chapter 10. If you can't take the final exams at the scheduled time because you have a university approved excuse, let Dr. Steelman or me, well, in my case, let me know within the first week of the class. Tips for success. Watch every lecture and take notes. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. Read and think about every chapter before the corresponding lectures. Simply memorizing information is not going to help you as much as understanding how to combine factors that predict reactivity. The more you understand that, the less you have to memorize. At the same time, there are a number of facts you have to know, such as you need to know the pKa values in table 1.1. You need to know the names of functional groups. You need to know how to name things simply, which helps in communication. Do not fall behind. This course is relentless. It's harder than Chemistry 230, and cramming doesn't work for most students, and you probably know that from studying chapters 7 through 9. You need to practice, 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 practice. Organic chemistry is best learned by working as many problems as you can find, and you should do every problem in the book. It is a lot of problems. I know that it is a lot of problems, but you should do them all. You should do them without the solution manual at your side. You need to do the problems and then check them later. And when you get them wrong, circle those problems and bring them to office hours. Coming to office hours is the best way to ask questions because you are asking one of the experts in the field. Your first to-do list is to visit Canvas and read the syllabus. Then you want to review the Organic Chemistry 1 material. Unless you're absolutely confident that you know your knowledge from Organic Chemistry 1, I've made videos for chapters 1 through 5 and 7 through 9 that should be helpful in getting you up to speed if you've gotten rusty on any of those materials. You need to obtain access to Gradescope using the specific code for this course and do your integrity assignment and homework 1. That is all I have for you. And I hope that you're looking forward to this semester as much as I am. I'm signing off.